This, I'm spotlighting the school I went to, my junior high, back in the mid-80s. The mural behind me that's painted here, the students were actually painting that whenever I was coming here back in like 86, 87. And I also remember this was a school I was going to when the Challenger went up, because one of the teachers that was teaching here would have been one of the teachers on the shuttle. He almost went for it, but this is my junior high school back in the 80s. This bat symbol, that actually it's a road sign, but it was changed into the bat symbol back in the late 80s, right about the time the first Batman came out with Michael Keaton. And it's been here since the 80s. It's starting to wear now, but for me it's always been a thrill because whoever did this really left their landmark. The school behind me was my grade school for like 5th, 6th grade. And right here, they cleaned it up, darn them, but there used to be a chalked and painted naked woman here. You could tell all the details of the naked woman. So when I was swinging on the swing set during lunch break, all the kids would be swinging back and forth and playing and glance over and see the naked woman on the wall. But they took her off now. I don't know why they did that, but I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite spots on the playground. Back in the 80s, I would, well, during my grade school years, I would sit there and go back and forth on this thing, racing with my friends, and then I would fly off and jump. But you know what? I'm not going to do it now. I'm too old for that. But I can do this. Woo! Okay, guys, this is another one of my favorite spots. I remember one time we had a solar eclipse, and it was like back in the 80s when I was in grade school, of course. And I remember sitting up on this during a lunch break and looking up and watching it. It wasn't very safe to do, but I remember us kids doing that all the time. And I would climb all the way up to the top, which now I won't do because I don't want to break my neck. But this was another one of my favorite spots on the playground. Okay, so I'm daring. This was my favorite sliding board whenever I was a kid back in grade school. And even after grade school, I'd go down it. I don't know if I can still slide down it. Usually it wouldn't let me slide very well. But I'm going to try. Let's see what happens. Woohoo! And then for the fun of it, we'd try to climb back up. This used to actually have a gravel type path that would come through here all the way along these poles, and that was the trolley line that would come through in the 80s. The trolley cars weren't there no longer, but my sister and I would cut through here with my mom all the time to go into the main shopping district over to my aunt's house. But over the years it appears that it's just grown over, but this was actually the trolley car line. This is a Springfield roller rink, the roller rink I used to spend most of my Fridays and Saturdays at whenever I could. When we was kids, we'd go over here and roller skate all the time. And then if you walked over this way, there was a big slide right over here. It was one of those huge slides. It was like 25 cents a drop, and it would just take you continuously down. It was a huge slide. And if you even look a little bit further, the house is back here. That's the road that I lived on for my first 10 years of my life. We moved on Harlan Avenue over there whenever I was 8. And we lived over there, and we'd walk up, my sister and I would walk along the path with my mom, and we'd come over here and roller skate and go on a big slide that's no longer there. But I remember at the time, I don't remember how much roller skating was, but I remember this big slide was the 25 cents for a drop down in one of the sacks. But it was definitely a fun ride and a fun place to be whenever you're growing up.